So you worked on science fiction film. Science fiction film, no matter what concept is, so still involves a lot of image making technology. So you have had your own special effect team,
Right.
which is this. So what was your relationship with them? What was your influence on them and the influence on you? Because
it's a really good question.
It is very delicate balance because
Yeah.
very often images became a little bit more mechanical and more not always fitting the story, because people who are doing special effects, they have their own way of doing things.
Right.
And you as very individual artist may not have the same view as they have. So how you manage to hopefully successfully bring it bring it all together? What was your...
Well, the relationship between the visual effects and supervisor or visual effects team and the cinematographer, director, that's the place where you have to find everybody has to be willing to compromise, and the mission has to be finding balance. And I can't say on the last film that I walked in imagining that I would have to think about compromise the way that I did on the film. And it's good compromise, logical compromise. It's not irrational compromise. It's not illogical compromise. It's compromise for the better, for the betterment of the film. But I had to be open to suggestions that I would not have thought about, or suggesting things that I wouldn't have thought about intuitively. And so that for me was a big hurdle. Trying to understand what this visual effects world is about. This is a place where they can literally create anything. They can create anything. They can create.
It's no problem.
There's not a problem for them to create anything.
Create for what?
Right, exactly. And so, and it goes back to this idea of knowing yourself and feeling confident in your own self as an artist. What I had to do was say to the visual effects team that this is the way we're executing the film, and I know it might not be comfortable for you, visual effects supervisor, that wants everything to be shot at a 2.8 or a 4. But on this movie, we're going to shoot everything wide open at a 1.9. And those assets, those helicopters you have flying in the background, or that spaceship you have 1,000 feet away, it won't be in focus. And that's part of the visual language of this film, and that you have to get on board with the visual language of the film. It can't be, it can't be two teams. It can't be two teams trying to, it has to be one team moving forward towards one idea.
In the ideal case, sure.
Ideally, and so.
But the ideal case not always happens.
No, and it wasn't always easy. There was a lot of tension, and most of the tension is generally geared to everybody feeling comfortable that they're able to do a good job. But I think part of that resistance, part of that push and pull, ultimately creates something interesting at the end of the day. And so. On this one, it was literally me just staying the course, Can we shoot the scene at a 4? Nope. Can we shoot our background plates in focus? Nope. Because at least I knew in my own limited knowledge about visual effects films that the one thing that I really trust are my optics. The one thing that I really trust is the research that I've done before I entered the film. And so if I start to change those things because we want to see a helicopter in focus, the whole visual mantra, the whole visual, the style of the film starts to fall apart. And when you do it once, it just encourages folks to continue to do it throughout the rest of the film. So we just had to stay the course. And it wasn't always
that you're able to exercise enough influence, creative influence, just to keep a style, because very often we see that special effect shot because done in totally different aesthetics. Yeah. It basically is different language, different everything. It's like separate film.
Oh yeah,
which is the most difficult part in special effects movies.
Right. Well, visual effects movies, the things that surround us in the sort of visual effects world are being generated by computers. And those computers are only going to do what human beings on the other side tell them to do. So
it's very important for the same, because in our school we teaching totally new subject called cinematography, which is we're teaching our students to be aware and become experts, at least on some general level, on the level of visual language, expert in all new fields. Only in order do not take anybody work, obviously, but especially, but in order to have artistic control over the media. Right. Is it important?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's part of our job. It's part of our job. It's part of why we're asked to be directors of photography or cinematographers, is that it's part of our job to have some control, you know. We have to, directors are often looking at us and saying, not because they don't know what they're doing, that's not what's going on, but they look for us as like the backbone for the vision of the film. So they often look towards us and say, what do you think? Am I doing the right thing? And we have to take control of the moment and take control of the technology and take control of all the tools we have in front of us to say, yes, this is what we need to do and we need to move in this direction.